Hi, I'm Samantha Moshiri, a wife, mom, and therapist who specializes in the treatment of eating disorders. If you find yourself watching this video, I assume you have some curiosity on the topic of no good or bad foods. And I love this because the precursor for change is curiosity. And I think it's important that as a society, as well as individuals, we begin to shift and change the way in which we talk to each other, and most importantly, the way in which we talk to ourselves about food. And this is important because the way in which we talk to ourselves about food impacts our relationship with food, impacts our food behaviors, impacts the way we feel about our body, and thus the way we treat our bodies. And today, the messaging in society that we often hear about food is really driven by fear. Fear of becoming unhealthy, fear of gaining weight, fear of being rejected. And anytime we make a decision based off fear, it's often not the best for us in the long run. So the goal and the aim would be to begin to poke holes in these fear-driven messages about food in order to have some more ease around food and to ultimately heal our relationship with food. In order to do this, I encourage people to begin to look at what words are you using to describe your own food. Do you find yourself often using words such as good or bad food, healthy or unhealthy food, or describing foods as sweets, treats, or junk food? And there's no judgment or no shame if these are words that you find yourself doing. As I mentioned, these are often the words in society that we hear being conveyed. However, food is not innately healthy or unhealthy, good or bad. Food is just food. An analogy that I really love to use to help kind of illuminate this is one that I picked up after working in residential treatment center for several years with my mentor and fellow therapist, Anna Kowalski. And I can't be 100% certain that she is the one that came up with this analogy, but it's where I heard it for the first time. And it's if you were on a deserted island and I told you all you could bring with you to eat was broccoli or pizza, which one would you choose? And oftentimes people would choose the broccoli, but if you choose the pizza, you might actually be able to sustain yourself. And hopefully this illuminates that we too often blanketly label food as healthy or unhealthy, and we forget the context of eating. So really the hope is that you can move away from labeling food as either good or bad, and you can see that there are healthy or unhealthy food behaviors, and the food itself is not healthy or unhealthy. Another way to kind of describe this or explain it is if all you ate all day every day was kale, you would probably start to experience some complications and medical symptoms. Similarly, if all you ate all day every day was donuts, you wouldn't be feeling too good either. So again, the broccoli or the kale and the donuts are not innately bad or unhealthy in of themselves. It's the way in which we relate and interact with the food. And the number one way that's going to impact our food behaviors is the thoughts that we tell ourselves about food. So again, if we tell ourselves that food is bad and then we eat that food, oftentimes we're going to then tell ourselves that we're bad, which creates guilt and creates shame and impacts our relationship with food and our behaviors with food. So I would encourage you to start looking at the words that you're using to describe your food, how those words make you feel, and then start to notice if it impacts your food behaviors.